Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think you'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun.
Yes, in the CHR website, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, there appears a press release dated September 1, 2017, which reads, CHR concerned over President Duterte's remarks against UN Special Rapporteur and human rights defenders. The last paragraph of which states, and I quote, CHR, as conscience of the government and the people, remains firm in its stance that this campaign against drugs because our social ills forcing people to drug abuse and drug addiction. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, why is the CHR concerned over President Duterte's remarks against the UN Special Rapporteur? Why?
Because, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, she is an officer of the UN human rights system, and as such, must be accorded protection as well.
What is the answer, Mr. Speaker? Your Honor?
She is an official of the UN human rights system, and as such, as national, is a special rapporteur and reports to the High Commissioner on Human Rights. And so she is accorded the courtesy and the assistance that she needs when conducts her own mandate here in the country.
So, Mr. Speaker, following your answer, the CSR differs more to the UN Special Rapporteur than the President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't think that is, we disagree with that, because CSR attends to everybody, especially to the President of the country. How can you not give the best service and accommodation to the President compared to the other person? So this is universal, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker. They protect and promote human rights of all persons and conducts investigations upon the instructions of requests of not only of everyone, Your Honor, including the President.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, the New York Times editorial dated April 25, 2017 bannered the following: let the world condemn Duterte. Was the CHR aware of this editorial?
Like you, Your Honor, they read it.
Okay.
They have no participate in this written press release, Your Honor. They have nothing to do with it.
So they are aware of that editorial, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, they are aware.
Did the CSR express concern over the New York Times unfair and absurd call for the world's condemnation of the President of the Republic of the Philippines?
They did not express, Your Honor,
Why?
Mr. Speaker, comments on the editorial, but they expressed concern on the deaths that resulted from the incident. And the
Mr.
war
Speaker,
of
Your
drugs
Honor.
in this particular case.
Does President Duterte have human rights?
Everyone, Your Honor,
Thank you.
especially the President. Even Your Honor is entitled to be protected in your human rights, Your Honor.
Does CHR think that the human rights of President Duterte were violated by New York Times?
No, Your Honor. First reason is that the journalists who wrote this editorial have a freedom of expression. And secondly, public officials are held to abide by the standards set in our Constitution on human rights.
So the journalists, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, have the rights to express themselves. And the President of the Philippines have no right to express himself. Is that it?
Oh, of course not, Your Honor. The President especially has
So
the
why
same rights.
is CSR concerned when the President only expressed himself? But CSR was not concerned at all when the New York Times asked the world's condemnation of the President of the Philippines.
So, Your Honor, the CSR is there doing its job and cannot respond to each and every incident and to each and every statement that is made. This, Your Honor, is fundamental. If we respect everybody's human rights, the more we will defend the President's human rights, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, what law created the Commission on Human Rights?
The Constitution itself, Your Honor, under the provisions that you have just cited, you cited the provisions on the functions of the CSR in Section 17. And so, if I may quote, Your Honor, it is just a one-liner, Section 17, there is hereby created an independent office called the Commission on Human Rights.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, is Section 17, Paragraph 1, self-executory?
There is a...
Now the question is Section 17, Paragraph 1, Article 13 of the Constitution, self-executory?
Not really, Your Honor, but...
So which...
But wait, Your Honor, let me finish my reply to you. But the corresponding authority and creation of the CHR is contained pursuant to this mandate of the Constitution, was contained in the Executive Order number 163, series of 1987, signed by the President then, Cory Aquino, which gives flesh to the provisions of the Constitution, since it enumerates and specifies the provisions that needed to be covered in a legislative measure. This, the President Cory Aquino, was at that time when she made this executive order, exercising both executive and legislative powers, Your Honor, because this was made before our Congress function.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, you were mentioning Executive Order number 163, which was dated May 5, 1987. Is this the basis you are referring to, Mr. Speaker, in creating the Commission on Human Rights?
The Constitution, Your Honor, as we stated earlier, is the basis.
No, Mr. Speaker,
And
that's
this
a
is
very
a-
simple question. You said that the provision that you cited was not self-executory. That is correct because there should be a law to create an agency. And then you cited Executive Order number 163, dated May 5, 1987, to be the law that created the CHR. Am I correct to assume that?
Yes, Your Honor. The mandate is given by the Constitution, and the Executive Order number 163 is the implementing legislation on the matter.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, the 1987 Constitution was ratified on February 2, 1987, in a plebiscite. And it was proclaimed in force on February 11, 1987. The executive order was issued on May 5, 1987. It is very clear that the President of the Philippines at the time, Mrs. Cory Aquino, has no more legislative powers. It should be Congress which should have created the CHR. Mr. Speaker, it is not correct to say that because the Constitution mentioned the CHR, it is already created. As a matter of fact, the Civil Service Commission was created by Republic Act 2260. The Commission on Audit was created by Presidential Decree 898, dated March 3, 1976. The Commission on Elections, it was the National Assembly through Commonwealth Act number 667, which created a statutory commission on elections. Commonwealth Act number 657 was enacted, reorganizing the commission as constitutional body. The Ombudsman, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, although mentioned by the Constitution, was created under Republic Act 6770. There should be a law in order to create the CSR. Executive Order number 163, which was issued in 1987 of May 5, is invalid. Because at that time, Mrs. Cory Aquino, the President of the Philippines, already lost her legislative power. Sir Speaker, Your Honor, how can we appropriate budget to an agency which has not been validly created? I move that we should assign a 1,000 peso budget to the CHR. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Before the any motion, Your Honor,
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the
let me
majority,
clarify.
we
Let me
second the
clarify
motion
first.
of the
Uh,
gentleman from the party
sponsor-
list wants a gift. So
Objection.
Mr. Speaker.
And may we explain our objection, please?
No, before that, Your Honor, let me
Mr. Speaker,
Let
our
me,
parliamentary status is that the Honorable
finish.
Marcoleta has proposed a motion. We have seconded it.
We
There
object.
is an objection.
We object.
Now we divide the House. So that is our parliamentary
Speaker,
status.
may
Mr.
we-
Speaker.
May we be
explain
given
our
May
objection?
we be given a
Mr.
chance to
Speaker?
explain our position?
Mr. Speaker, I
The
move that the
motion
Honorable
is to remove the budget. We
gentleman
would like
from
to
Caloocan.
explain why it
Mr.
is
Speaker, I have the floor.
Majority Leader, what is the parliamentary status?
Our parliamentary status is that the Honorable Marcoleta has made a motion, duly seconded by the majority floor leader. It has been opposed by the gentleman from Caloocan.
And we continue to oppose it
We,
too.
I move that we divide the House.
Mr.
but
Speaker,
before we
Mr.
finish,
Speaker,
I move that, Mr. Speaker, I have the
Speaker,
floor.
Your
we
Honor.
divide the
Mr.
House.
Speaker,
so we
divide
can
the House.
explain our
Mr.
position.
Speaker,
We now
May we
divide
explain
the
our
House.
objection
Mr.
because
Speaker, the sponsor has the floor,
Senator
Mr.
Marcoleta,
Speaker.
Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Mr. Speaker,
We cannot
the
just
sponsor has the floor.
Without the explanation of the
And,
other
no,
parties.
The
Those
sponsor
are
objects to the
against
motion.
Objections, Mr. Speaker.
We object to the motion, Mr. Speaker, and the sponsor should be allowed,
We should be allowed.
3 minutes to explain his objection before
Chair.
you conduct
Mr.
the
Speaker, I
vote.
ask for a few minutes
The ayes
suspension.
have it.
No,
If you
no.
continue the
Objection,
vote, Mr.
Mr.
Speaker, you will be violating our rules.
Ses-